Jeffree Star's new Night Owl collection is made for those who come alive in the dark, and it definitely looks the part. But at nearly $300 for the full set, is this one worth staying up for, or should it be left in the shadows? Let's dive into the collection because I have some thoughts. First impressions of the collection, it definitely matches the concept, especially the eyeshadow palette. So the entire collection retails for $283 US, which is pretty insane for a full collection. However, Jeffree Star Cosmetics does kind of price at the mid to high end range. The products are cruelty free and vegan as well, so you will be paying a little bit of a higher price point to get better quality ingredients. So the thing that caught my eye the most was the Night Owl palette, so let's have a look at that first. The palette retails for $56 and it is inspired by the mysteries of the night sky. Personally, this isn't a color story I would typically gravitate towards, but I know a lot of people do enjoy darker glam color stories. I do think the purple and blue metallics look beautiful. They were the first thing that caught my eye. They look very glittery. Jeffree Star always does do really bright and bold metallics, and they look really beautiful on the models as well. The swatches definitely are very bold and intense colors, and they do look really nice swatched. I did notice on Trend Mood's comments a lot of people liked the color story, but then saw who actually released the collection and was no longer interested, which I completely understand. The brand has gone under a lot of scrutiny considering who owns it, so it's definitely not going to be for everybody. Personally, I don't really love the big owl packaging. I find stuff like that is really difficult to store. However, that is very on brand for Jeffree Star Cosmetics. They do release very unique eyeshadow palettes, so they are a bit more fun if you want something different for your collection. Not exactly practical for storage or travel, but gets points for uniqueness. Another comment that I saw on Trend Mood that absolutely cracked me up was, what in the makeup revolution is this? But let's be honest, I don't think Makeup Revolution would be this creative. So that's the eyeshadow palette. That's kind of like the star of the show for me. I am an eyeshadow girl, as you can tell. So next up there are 5 Velour Eye Crayons, which retail for $25 each. So the 5 shades are Owl, Perched, Graveyard Shift, Late Night Snack, Bright Beginnings, and Ocean of Wisdom. I do think the swatches are nice. The shades I gravitated towards the most is definitely that blue metallic. They are also a cream formula, so they definitely will go on a bit more pigmented than your matte eyeshadows. I did notice though, looking at some of the swatches and comparing them to the eyeshadow palette, I feel like a couple of the shades that they have made into the crayon formula are actually just repeats of what's in the palette, especially the brown and grey shades. I feel like it could have been a good opportunity to include some new shades that didn't quite make the cut in the palette but still were on theme, or it would have been really cool to see some of the crayons turned into toppers so you can elevate some of the shades in the eyeshadow palette. I will say though, the black and brown crayons do have a multi-use feature to them because they can be used as an eyeshadow but also as a cream eyeliner, so that can be really useful if you're someone who does not like liquid liner and you do like to do more of a smoky liner. I don't personally love eye crayons. I always kind of just forget about them. I prefer to just use palettes, but if you do want minimal makeup for travel, they are a handy thing to have. Ocean of Wisdom does look stunning on the eyes though. Same with Bright Beginnings. They were definitely the first colors that really stuck out to me. So there's a couple lip products in this collection as well. We have 3 Lip Arousal Lip Plumpers, and they retail for $22 each, and they come in the shades Body Chills, Pink Robe, and Voyeurism. They're infused with peptides, jojoba, vitamin E, and avocado oil, and the plumping aspect is due to chili pepper. I absolutely hate plumping products that use chili pepper. If you have sensitive skin, it just feels like hell is on your mouth. Too Faced uses these in their lip injections. The last time I used one, it literally looked like I had been stung in the face by a bee. It was so bad. I think menthol based plumping products are so much nicer, but yeah, if you have any sensitivity to peppers or spice, you're probably gonna hate it, which is a shame because the colors are really pretty, but that alone just deters me from the product completely. I will say the shades that they have released are pretty universal for everyone. I feel like most people can use them and it looks really nice. I would have really loved to see like a black or a blue metallic or more of like a deep purple to kind of fit that night owl theme a little bit more. The shade Body Chills looks gorgeous on all the models. However, Pink Robe doesn't really look very nice on anyone out of all 3 of them. It's a bit gloopy looking. I get that Voyeurism is kind of more of that purple based pink, but had they done a really deep purple, I think it would have been such a great staple to add to the collection. But unfortunately for me, the colors are kind of giving more Barbie as opposed to a Night Owl. Also released was an eye brush set, which retails for $38 or you can buy them individually. You get a small shader brush, crease definer brush, eyeshadow packer brush, eye blender brush, eye shader brush, and a large eye blender brush. The brush bristles are also synthetic hairs. I mean, they look fine, pretty standard for eye brushes. I know the pink is on brand for Jeffree Star Cosmetics, but if it's being released with the Night Owl collection, I would have liked to see like a dark purple brush handle or black, just because again, it's kind of giving more like Malibu Barbie vibes. These probably just could have been released completely separate from the collection. This is another product that I don't think really made sense to release with the collection, but then at the same time, it kind of did, and I'll tell you why. We have the Magic Star eye patches. They retail for $18 and you get 6 in a pack. They're formulated with caffeine, hyaluronic acid, cranberry and pomegranate extracts to reduce puffiness, hydrate, and give a healthy, radiant complexion. The reason why initially I was like, that doesn't really make sense is because it's very clearly a skincare product and they have released separate skincare products. However, in the context of the Night Owl collection theme, then it does kind of make sense because you take your makeup off at the end of the day or the night and you put your skincare on. So that I feel does kind of fit in with the collection when you're talking about doing your end of night routine. But then also Night Owl to me is like staying up all night and sleeping in your makeup. So I don't really know. Definitely could have just been released on its own as well. These I actually thought were really cool. They released 2 double zip travel makeup bags in this collection. They have a black and a yellow and they retail for $42 each, which is definitely a bit steep for a makeup bag. And they're made of a premium faux alligator fabric. First impressions on these, I feel like this is one of the products that has actually had the most thought put into it out of the entire collection. Like they do seem crafted really well. Everything does have more of like a luxe feel to it, which I guess is reflected in the price. The double zip aspect is cool because you can separate your products and they have put attention into the colourful liners. I did think that was a fun touch. I feel like Jeffree has always done makeup bags really well, especially because of his vast collection of designer bags. I can kind of see that there has been some inspiration maybe taken from what he likes in designer bags and made into a makeup bag. I'm not mad about these. I don't buy makeup bags often, but I think they are quite stylish, and those of you who do enjoy makeup bags, you might actually really like this. Definitely a nice touch to the collection, hauling all your stuff around in your bag and heading out the door for the night. And lastly in the collection, we have the Night Owl hand mirror, and this retails for $34. So it is a typical star-shaped mirror, however the back of it does have that glitter snow globe effect with a close-up of an owl's face underneath the glitter. These are quite large and it is the same price as their regular mirrors, so it hasn't been marked up for this release, especially because they definitely could have charged extra for having that glitter effect in the back. Personally, I'm not into collecting these. I just feel like they take up a lot of space, but if you are someone who likes to collect large hand mirrors, again, this could be something that you would enjoy. Overall, I think this collection is interesting and it has definitely ruffled a few feathers considering who the brand releasing this collection is. Even though the owner of the brand and the brand itself has had its past controversies, I do have to give them points for creating unique concepts within the beauty space. I think my favorite elements of the collection are the unique metallic shades. They look absolutely gorgeous, and I actually do really like the makeup bags. I think they are quite nice. For the most part, the Night Owl collection really does lean into the late night glam vibes. The eyeshadow palette is unique and definitely will cater towards people who do like more of a darker glam. I love the metallics and the makeup bags, but the lip plumpers and the eye brushes didn't exactly wow me. I'll give Jeffree credit though, it's unique and definitely has people talking. What do you think? Is this a collection you'd wear or are you giving it a miss? Let me know in the comments down below. Well, I'm gonna finish the video off here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and if you want to check out any other content from me, check out my social medias at Makeup with Alex. All of my links are linked down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!